Dear students, welcome to the e-learning session. This initiative is taken by Cambridge International School, Dasua. I am Navdeep, working as PGT Informatics Practices here. Dear students, in the earlier session, we have just talked about the introduction to Python. We will continue from the same. Yeah. So this I have named it as Introduction to Python Part 2. So in the earlier presentation we have discussed what is the Python languages. So in that, what is a program is just a collection of instructions. Then we discussed about the different high level languages. The high level languages like we have C, C++, Java, Python, Basic, Pascal, clear, and so on. Huge number of programming languages. And then the high level language is that it is just a English like language. Then the working with Python. So in Python, you see here that the prompt. What is the Python prompt? These three greater than symbols that they represent the Python prompt. Now in Python, for working on the programs, we have exactly two modes. First mode is interactive mode. Second mode is script mode. We discussed in the last lecture, like this sort of look like is that is the interactive mode. Here where you type one instruction and that gets executed, that is executed by the Python interpreter. Students, if you are not familiar with interpreter, what is the interpreter is that executes the code line by line. It is different to compiler. What the compiler does, it basically compiles the whole program at a go, first converts the source to object and then it executes it. But the interpreter, it executes the code line by line. Then this mode is we'll be working more in this mode is that is basically the script mode, clear, where you can write the program and execute this one. Here we have discussed this one. Moving forward, so our today's topics basically starts from the keywords. So students, this is very important term, clear. So keywords are the reserved words. Reserved means that their meaning is already defined inside the Python. They have a specific meaning. We cannot use them for other purposes. So as Python is case sensitive, so students, you might be hearing this. What is case sensitive is that where a small a and capital A both are different, they are not same. We'll take its example also. And keywords must be written exactly as they have been defined. We cannot use clear like if true is represented in first T should be capital and rest should be smaller. We cannot use it as in a different way. You can see here these are the list of keywords, and you see here left most top is false. You know, false every time if we are using it as a keyword. So false, F should be capital. For true, the T should be capital, rest should be in small case, clear. And similarly for none also. So if some of the keywords are in totally small, you have to write as it is only. We cannot make changes in the keywords. And keywords cannot be also used as a variable that we will use in the programming demonstrator. So this is the list of keywords available in Python. So next, what is the basic fundamental term used is the identifiers. What are identifiers, students? In programming language, identifiers are names used to identify a variable, functions, or any other entity. Means anything that you have written in your program is falls under the category of a identifier. It can be a variable, it can be a constant, it can be a function, it can be a keyword, anything. So everything you write in a program is falls under the category of a identifier. The next important thing is there that what are the rules for naming an identifier. So there are few rules are there, clear. We'll just go through the rules because this is important when we are going to use them in programs. The name should begin, any identifier name should begin with the uppercase or with the lowercase alphabet, or it can start with the underscore. This may be followed by a combination of characters like small a to z, capital A to z, 0 to 9, and also underscore later on also. So therefore an identifier cannot start with a digit, it must start with the alphabet, either uppercase or lowercase or with a underscore sign. The second instruction is it can be of any length. Clear? But you know that in programming any length doesn't basically goes to the right direction. Any length means the variable name should be, identifier name should be a meaningful one, not any vague one. Point number 3 is that it should not be a keyword. So we cannot use a identifier as a keyword or a reserve word. So we will see that we have seen in the earlier table that keywords cannot be used as a identifier. So we cannot use special symbols. So the list of special symbols is there, at the rate, hash, dollar sign, percentage. So we cannot use them as a in identifiers. In naming a identifier, these special symbols are not allowed. Only underscore is allowed. Moving next, the important term that is used in programming is variable. What is a variable is? So students, variable is an identifier whose values can change. For example, a variable can have a different value for different persons. A variable name should be unique in the program. So example will clarify a bit more. Clear? A value of a variable can be string. So like you see here, B is a string, global citizen, hello. These are the examples of strings. Number variables like 10, 71, or a real number like 80.52, or any combination of alphanumeric. Clear? So alphabets and numbers like B10. So this term B10 is basically alphanumeric. It is having alphabets as well as numeric values. That's why this is called alphanumeric. So these are the few examples of variables. Now students, you see here how to use them, these variables in the program. In Python we can use a assignment statement. This equal to symbol is basically used as a assignment statement to create new variables and assign specific value to them. Like let's say gender. So gender is a variable and I have assigned a value m to this variable. Similarly for message, I have assigned value, this string value, keep smiling, to this message variable. And similarly this price variable, I have assigned a real value or a floating value to this variable. So this is how the variables are used in the program. Now we refer to some examples. Now for doing few examples, we will move to the Python platform. Now students, that we have opened the IDLE. What is IDLE is? IDLE is Integrated Development and Learning Engagement. Clear? This is for Python. Now students, we type our first program. First go to click the file, open a new window. Clear? And I will just place this window at the appropriate sign. Clear? Here we'll be writing our program. Clear? So let's say I write my first code is, let's say my program is, first I write the comment. For comment we can use this hash symbol, program to find the sum of two given numbers. The numbers are already given to us and we have to find their sum. What are these numbers are? So let's say number 1 is 10, number 2 is 20. Students, we can increase its font size also. Go to this option and let's configure IDLE. and let's say I want to keep its size as, let's say, 16. Apply and click OK. Just to have a greater visibility. Okay. Then moving next. So next is, let's say I use another variable result. Then I need add two numbers, num1 plus num2, and I store the result in this result variable, and finally I print the output result. Okay. So still, students, here you can see, if you compare it with the C language, C++, there we need declaration of the variable. So here we can straightforward, we can make use of our variables. Now to run this code, go to this run option, and you can press F5 also, or click on this button. Clear? So source must be saved. So I will save here in my earlier folder. Let's name it as my third program. Save. Clear? So now you see the output here. What is the output here is that 30 is the result. Clear? So if I want to do certain formatting here, so if I write it like result is, and then and here I can use this double quotes also, colon also, run, and run this tool. So okay, some problem here. And see, the result here is in place of x as a sum of two number is, and this 10 plus 20 is 30 here. Now students, we start with the second problem. So let's say here we start with the comment. What we want to do to find the area of a rectangle. Here, what is the area of rectangle is, that is the to multiply the length and breadth of a triangle, and we get the area. So let's say the length stored in a variable is, let's say this, assume this is to be 10 meter, 10 centimeter. Breadth, so let's say this is 20, and we want to calculate the area. So area, the formula we know that area is multiplication of length and breadth of the rectangle. We get the result in area variable, and finally we print the area here. And what we'll try to do, we'll try to run this one. So what we get finally, first we need to save this one. So let's say this is our fourth program. Save this one. Clear? And here you can see here that the output is 200. So the area of rectangle is, after multiplication, is 200. Clear? If it is, the question is centimeter, the answer is centimeter square. If it is in the meter, the answer is in meter square. Clear? So students, finally we have clear what we have learned today. So what is identifier here? Length and breadth, area, these are the three identifier. What are the rules for naming a identifier is that they must start with the alphabet. Clear? They cannot start with a numeric value, like if I write here like one length. So if you run this one, so what it will do, so let's say you want to, so this will say there is an error in your program, invalid syntax. So the syntax is wrong, so we cannot start a variable with a numeric value. Clear? So if we run it like this, clear? So the program is functioning and it is giving us the output. So we actually learned the rules. Clear? Rules for naming a variable. Clear? Let's say this was the program number 1. So here we learned about the rules. Clear, like we have a variable here num is, and it can have a alphabet also, like I have used alphabet numeric value 1. So it cannot start with a numeric value, but inside after a alphabet we can use a numeric value also. So we have assigned here values 10 and 20 to these variables. This equal to is a assignment statement here. Clear. And we cannot use any special character, like let's say we take some example like this hash symbol. So hash is a special character, so if we run this one, clear, using this one, so this violates the rules of identifier. So you can see students here that num is not defined now, because we have used here a special character. So special characters are not allowed. We cannot start it with a number, and a variable can have alphabets, digits, or they can be alphanumeric. Alphanumeric is like num1 is example of alphanumeric variable. So we learned about keywords. We have not used the keywords here, but in the coming programs you will find the use of keywords also. And this is what we have done for the day. So today we are done with two programs, simple one just to add two numbers, and then the second one to find the area of rectangle, where we use the concept of variables, assignment statement, and how to display the result. So dear students, I think that you might have enjoyed the session. So it's very elementary one. Some people may feel that this is very easy, but for some of the understanding and building the basic concept, it's very important to learn the basics of a programming language. So at the end, I thank you all for attending this session. Thanks.